The following is a class on the Bhagavad Gita as it is. Chapter number 9, text number 13. Given by His Grace, Shriman Sankarshan Das Adhikari. Recorded on August 26th, 2017, in Sofia, Bulgaria.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate
Om
Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Mahatmanastamang Partha Daivim Prakritim Ashrita Bhajanyananjam Manaso Yatabhutadamavyayam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. Purport. In this verse, the description of the Mahatma is clearly given. The first sign of the Mahatma is that he is already situated in the divine nature. He is not under the control of material nature. And how is this effective? This is explained in the 7th chapter. One who surrenders unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, at once becomes freed from the control of material nature. This is the qualification. One can become free from the control of material nature as soon as he surrenders his soul to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the preliminary formula. Being marginal potency, as soon as the living entity is freed from the control of material nature, he is put under the guidance of the spiritual nature. The guidance of the spiritual nature is called Daivi Prakriti, divine nature. So, when one is promoted in that way by surrendering to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one attains to the stage of great soul, Mahatma. The Mahatma does not divert his attention to anything outside Krishna, because he knows perfectly well that Krishna is the original Supreme Person, the cause of all causes. There is no doubt about it. Such a Mahatma or great soul develops through association with other Mahatmas, pure devotees. Pure devotees are not even attracted by Krishna's other features, such as the four-armed Mahavishnu. They are simply attracted by the two-armed form of Krishna. They are not attracted to other features of Krishna, nor are they concerned with any form of a demigod or of a human being. They meditate only upon Krishna in Krishna consciousness. They are always engaged in the unswerving service of the Lord in Krishna consciousness. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jata Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitam Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Svaminiti Namine Namaste Sarasvate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi paschatya deshatarine. So, there are two kinds of atmas. Of course, there is Paramatma, that's another category. But within the category of the Jivatmas, there's two categories. Mahatma and duratma. So we have a choice, each one of us. Should I be a Mahatma or a duratma? A duratma, he is one who is in the material nature. And Mahatma is the one who is in the spiritual nature. So one can compare the difference. Which is better, to be a duratma or a Mahatma? The duratma, he can gratify his senses anytime he wants to, any way he wants to. He can smoke cigarettes. He can have sex. He can shoot heroin. Whatever he likes. You see? But what is the result of being a duratma? You go down to the animal kingdom in your next birth. The Mahatma voluntarily controls his senses. Rishikesha Rishikena Sevanam. He engages his senses in the service of the master of the senses, Rishikesh. He practices self-discipline. What is the result? He attains the state of pure, unlimited bliss. There's a name for that. It's called Krishna consciousness. Actually, we have a society, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. The whole point of this society is to turn us duratmas into Mahatmas. The present moment, we're a bunch of duratmas. We're lusty, we're angry, we're greedy, we're lazy. We have so many bad qualities, isn't it? I know, I'm just swimming in an ocean of bad qualities myself. By the mercy of great acharyas, you see, like, especially our founder acharya is Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Us poor, suffering duratmas can actually become Mahatmas. We can get out of this ocean of suffering in which we are currently drowning. And we can get into that ocean of unlimited bliss. Actually, it's really not that difficult to become a Mahatma. All you have to do is get turned on to Krishna. I mean, who wouldn't be turned on to Krishna? He's so beautiful. You ever seen anybody more good looking than Krishna? He's so beautiful, full of beauty. He's so powerful also. Even Brahma is nothing compared to Krishna. Or to speak of some ordinary person, in this world. So-called powerful people like, Trump or Hitler or whatever. And who could be more renounced also? He was dancing with all those beautiful girls in the forest of Vrindavan, Rasa Lila. He had so many beautiful girlfriends. But he remained brahmachari. He never had sex. Therefore, our grandfather Vishnu said, I'm celebrated as the greatest of all brahmacharis, but if I was with all those gopis, I would have fallen down. So Krishna is the greatest brahmachari. You see. He remained brahmachari after Rasa Lila. So power, beauty, brilliance. Who is more knowledgeable than Krishna? Krishna is Sarvagya. He knows everything. He knows everything that you've done, he even knows every thought that you've ever had in millions and billions of lifetimes. He perfectly knows you better than you know yourself. And who can be more wealthy than Krishna? Krishna states in Gita, Sarva Loka Maheshwaram, I own everything. I'm the owner of everything. And who is more famous than Krishna? 5,000 years. Show me anyone else who 5,000 years is still remembered like them. For some time we remember people of this world, Napoleon or Churchill, you see, but after so many centuries they'll be completely forgotten. You see. So there's no one more famous than Krishna. This is why he is called Bhagavan. These 6 things are called the opulences: power, beauty, renunciation, knowledge, wealth, and fame. So whoever possesses these in a greater quantity than anyone else, that person is called Bhagavan. That person who has unlimited power, beauty, renunciation, knowledge, wealth, and fame, that is Bhagavan. So, if anyone else wants to be declared to be the Supreme Person, let them show equal or greater opulence than Krishna. At Paundraka, he tried to do that. And he was wiped out by Krishna. So, if you can't beat him, join him. We may want to be the Supreme, but we can't, So if you can't be the Supreme, be the servant of the Supreme. Actually, to be the servant of the Supreme is a very big position, you see. It's such an amazing position. I was hearing Prabhupada give a lecture on this on the airplane as I was flying into Sofia today. Krishna became the subordinate servant of the Pandavas. He would offer his obeisances to the Pandavas as a junior. You can imagine. He was taking, you are my superiors, I offered my obeisances to you. You can imagine. So if you actually develop pure love for Krishna, you're going to have an amazing time in associating with him. And you know what? Every one of us, we're all the eternal servants of Krishna. Every one of us have an identity in the spiritual world. We forgot it, but we all have a relation, an eternal rasa with Krishna and his leelas. in Krishna Loka or the Vaikuntha planets, every one of us has a certain relationship. This is described by Srila Prabhupada in his introduction to the Bhagavad Gita. Svarup, one's original form. So then Prabhupada mentions Svarup Siddhi, the perfection of regaining your original form. So if you take this process that Prabhupada is giving very, very seriously, if you will fully absorb yourself in following these instructions of Srila Prabhupada, when you leave your body, the time of death, you will wake up in your original relationship with Krishna in the spiritual world. And the really cool thing, Prabhupada said, we'll have another ISKCON there. Actually, ISKCON is already there. So many ISKCON devotees have already gone back together. They're all there. The ISKCON is already happening. There's Golok, there's ISKCON Goloka also. You see, it's already there. So just like in this world, you can go from ISKCON Sofia to ISKCON London. You see, you can transfer. So we'll also transfer from ISKCON Sofia to ISKCON Goloka. You know. Everyone will be there, you see. All those who have seriously taken Param Jyoti Prabhu will be there. Well, all those who take this process seriously, will be together in Goloka as eternal associates, you see. So therefore, my dear ladies and gentlemen, the hint is this. My hint is this. Take this very seriously. Take this process of bhakti very, very seriously as your only business. And if you do so, you'll have the most amazing future, even now in this present body. You don't have to wait to go back to Godhead. You can be back to Godhead right here, right now, just by embracing this as my only business from now on is just to please Krishna. Even though externally you will be here in Sofia, you see. Within your heart, you'll be with Krishna in the Mahatmas. There, if you simply follow the instructions given here in Bhagavad Gita, then you'll live in the most sublime, divine atmosphere at every minute, starting right now. Yat kadoshi yadashnasi yajdahosi dadasi yat tat kadosh pataban. In that way, Krishna says, whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer, give away, as well as whatever austerities you may perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering unto me. So just try to always act for Krishna's pleasure. It's not difficult. You have to always think, what would Krishna like me to do right now? What attitude would Krishna like me to have right now? How would Krishna like me to speak right now? Always think, speak, and act in a way which would be pleasing to Krishna. It's simple then. Krishna is already present, but we don't experience him because we have non-Krishna conscious thoughts, words, and deeds. So if you will make your thoughts, words and deeds all Krishna conscious, then you will directly experience Krishna at every minute. You'll be able to relish Krishna's association at every minute. And when you perfect this art, Krishna will become visible even. You'll see Krishna. How do I know that? Because I've attained it? No. Because I have faith in the words of my spiritual master. Srila Prabhupada wrote me a letter. He said, now you just qualify yourself to see Krishna face to face. Was Prabhupada give me some hype? No. Prabhupada's telling me the truth. If you qualify yourself, you even within this body will see Krishna. So, what if I'm not there yet? That's okay. Let me endeavor for them. There's a nice prayer actually to achieve them. If one desires to qualify himself to see Krishna, there's a wonderful prayer for them. Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami Bhavatu Me. My Lord Jagannath, please bless me that I can see you. Actually, the first time I actually was there with Prabhupada in July of 1971. We greeted him at the airport. It was a wonderful thing, but I didn't hear any words from his mouth. We just saw him. He went straight from the airport to the Ratha Yatra festival site in Golden Gate Park. We had 3 carts for Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra Devi. So they had an asana for him on Subhadra Devi's cart. So Prabhupada got up in the cart and he gave a lecture before the parade began. It was a very powerful lecture. It's powerful. And the very first words that came out of his mouth were Jagannatha Swami Nayana Padagami Bhavatu Me. And he translated like this. He said, Lord Jagannath, please come to my vision. His lecture was absolutely amazing. There was about 300 devotees and about 3,000 hippies. All the hippies, all the Haight-Ashbury, it was still the height of the Haight-Ashbury era. It was still there. All the hippies came out with their long hair and their beads and their flutes and, their colorful clothes. All the hippies were there to go on the parade with Jagannath, you see. It's amazing. So Prabhupada gave a lecture just suitable for the hippies. He said, every one of you have seen God. Because Krishna says, I'm the light of the moon, I'm the light of the sun. And he said, if every time you drink water, you remember that Krishna is the taste of the water, immediately you become Krishna conscious. So how many times every day we drink water? You say? If every time you drink water, remember, Krishna is the taste of the water. Immediately become Krishna conscious. You don't need to take LSD to get high. You just drink water. You can't be arrested for drinking water. It's free. You get high just by drinking water. I mean, wow. You tell all the hippies they get high just by drinking water. You see? They loved his lecture. They were charmed by Prabhupada. So in this way, you see, if you have the mood of an innocent child, you see, it's very easy to become a Mahatma. Trouble is we get so sophisticated, you see, as we grow up. We become very firmly entrenched in a hankar, false ego, you see. I am this, I am that, don't you know what I am? You see. So for us, Ahankaris, it is difficult to become humble. I'm from Texas, and they have a saying in Texas. It's hard to be humble when you're a Texan. So, I assume it's also hard to be humble when you're a Bulgarian. So give up your Bulgarian consciousness. You are not Bulgarian. You see, you are Krishnian. Krishnian. You're the eternal servants of Krishna. That's who you actually are. You've always been Krishna's eternal servant. Simply you forgot about it, therefore you've been suffering like anything for millions of lifetimes. But now, by the mercy of His divine grace, Srila Prabhupada, we can remember who we actually are. Can you imagine waking up in the spiritual world in your original identity with Krishna? As a cowherd boy, or a gopi girl, or a flute, or a dhoti. Actually, every soul in the spiritual world is a human consciousness. But they take different forms to serve Krishna. Krishna's dhoti is also a person. He's a pure devotee of Krishna who wanted to serve Krishna being the dhoti. You see. Can you imagine being wrapped around Krishna? It's pretty intimate. Very intimate thing to be Krishna's dhoti, you know. Wow. You see, so the flute is also a person. Every rock, everything in Goloka Vrindavan is a person. There's nothing impersonal there, inanimate. So why don't we go there and check it out? Why don't we all go back to Godhead? Wouldn't it be nice? All of us should go back to Godhead. If you don't like it, you can always come back to Sofia, you know. Krishna's not going to force you to stay in His kingdom. So, today we were at the airport in London, and one gentleman was interested. I don't know why he was interested, he saw the dhoti and the tilak, but he came up and was talking to us. He said, "Where are you flying today?" And I told him this: "Today we are flying to Krishna Loka. And this is the airplane. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare." So, my dear ladies and gentlemen, let us always be on that airplane. Let us always, at every minute, be on that airplane flying back to Krishna Loka. So now I can ask if there's any questions. Question?
е слуга, става свободен.
Can you please explain us how when one is a servant he becomes free?
How does one become free when he becomes a servant? Because we are servants. That's our natural position. There's a very good example in this connection. Your hand. Your hand requires nutrition, doesn't it? If your hand doesn't get any nutrition, it will just dry up. How does it get nutrition? The food goes to the belly, and then the belly distributes the food to the various bodily parts. So what if the hand says, well, I don't want to serve the belly. I don't want to be a servant. I will take the food and enjoy it myself. So the hand may try to enjoy that food. But how much nutrition it can absorb just by squishing the food in the fingers? It will not get any nutrition of value by doing that. But when the hand agrees to serve the belly, then the hand becomes liberated. It becomes nourished. So in the same way, if you do not agree to be the servant, you're committing suicide, sir. But when you give your loving service to Krishna or God, who is the root of all existence, you become the best servant of yourself and the best servant of all living entities through all of existence. We don't ask you to accept this on blind faith. We simply ask you, make the experiment. Try serving Krishna for 1 week. For 1 week, I will do everything for Krishna. Every thought, every word, and every action, I'll do it all for Krishna. Just for 1 week as an experiment. And at the end of 1 week, analyze the difference in your consciousness. And you'll be amazed how blissful you actually are. How you become liberated by serving Krishna. So it's something tangible, it's something scientific, it's not blind faith. By serving, you become liberated. You'll experience it. Nobody will have to tell you you're liberated. You will feel how you're liberated by serving Krishna. Okay? Next. Sumitra.
Question is, how can we advance in Krishna consciousness?
How can we
advance in Krishna consciousness when our material desires are pulling us down, and when we have difficult moments, but we don't have faith in Krishna, and we just stay in this vicious circle and cannot get out?
What do you do when the material nature, you're captivated by the material nature and you can't get out of it? You have to cry for help. If you're drowning in the ocean, what will you do? And a ship is going by and you're drowning in the ocean, will you just go ahead and drown, or will you call for help? You say, Krishna, please save me. Krishna, please save me. Krishna, please save me. Krishna will save you. So there's no There's no no matter how powerful Maya may become to capture you, Krishna is always more powerful than Maya. So even if you're completely degraded, like Jagai and Madai, you see, they became great Mahatmas. Just by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. So you just had to beg the mercy, pray to your Guru, pray to Gauranga, Gaurnitai, pray to Radha Krishna, that please save me, please save me, please save me. And they will, the spiritual master and Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, Radha Krishna, they will definitely answer your prayer and save you. Simply have to cry like a child crying for the mother, that's all. That's how simple it is. Mother will come. You have to cry. But what if you're not able to cry? What if you're not able to cry? I'm so puffed up I can't cry to Krishna. Only you can cry to be able to cry. But what if you're so puffed up you cannot cry to be able to cry for Krishna? Then you cry to be able to cry for Krishna. And if you can't cry for Krishna, then you should cry for Krishna. And if you can't cry for Krishna, you should cry to be able to cry for Krishna. In this way, you must find that position where you can cry. And then Guru, Gauranga, they'll all come to your rescue. Immediately with it. Simple thing. You have to be a good crier, be a good cry baby. Okay? Narada Muni.
Thank you for the class. По времето на Прабхупад чухме, че той е бил толкова привличащ и привлякал толкова много хора. А сега има толкова прекрасни негови ученици. Как да избираме духовен учител?
We heard that during Prabhupada's time he was so attractive that he attracted so many people. And nowadays, how from his disciples, how we can choose someone who
Actually, it doesn't matter. Anyone who's following Prabhupada purely, you become their follower and you're connected with Prabhupada. It doesn't matter, you see.
Всъщност няма значение. Всеки, който следва Прабхупад чисто,
wherever you feel inspired, go with it. And so many nice gurus in ISKCON there who are sincerely serving Prabhupada's mission. Wherever your heart takes you. Follow your heart. Not a matter of, temple policy, well, you have to say this guru or that guru. No. Whoever inspires you the most, go there. Become the disciple. Next.
regards that you mentioned that we have to, from now we should start to dedicate all our thoughts and words and deeds for the pleasure of Krishna, I would like to ask, in a situation when we do our daily work, for example, for maintaining the family and so on, how to actually apply.
Yes. So, what if you go to XYZ Corporation every day as a corporate worker? How do you offer that to Krishna? It's very simple. The fruit of your work belongs to Krishna. What is the fruit of the work? The money they pay you see. If you simply spend every penny in a Krishna conscious way, then you're perfectly dovetailed. How you spend your money. You maintain your family, you have a Krishna conscious atmosphere at home, and whatever excess is there, you donate to ISKCON. It's a very simple thing. I was also doing. I was a brahmachari for 14 years. And then Krishna arranged a wonderful, wonderful wife for me. The Grace Vishnu Priya Devi Dasi. And then they said, okay, you have to get a job now, Sankarshan Das. So I took a little training. I got a job, kind of entry-level computer programming job. And every month I gave $50. I didn't make much money, but every month I gave $50 to the temple. Automatic. $50 every month, no matter what. And we had a very Krishna conscious. We made our ashram very Krishna conscious. You see. So in this way, make your home very Krishna conscious, and then whatever excess money you can donate, try to donate something every month to the temple. Every householder should be on the monthly donor program for their local temple. The Christians actually give 10%. They call it tithing. And because of this tithing principle, they become very, very powerful all over the world, the Christians. They have millions and millions of dollars to spend on their missionary activities because of this tithing principle. So we can learn something from the Christians. Every householder should be giving regular donation every month. Even if it's little, something, everyone should be giving every month. Don't just come to the temple to take. You have to come to the temple to give. Because the more you give, the more you get Krishna. The more you give to Krishna, the more you get Krishna. So don't be greedy. If you're greedy, you're only cheating yourself out of Krishna. Any other questions? Yes.
In Goloka Vrindavan, when Krishna plays his pastimes, the demons, when they, how come they get to the Goloka Vrindavan when they end up demons?
Not in the no. There's no demons in the spiritual world. Only in the Vrindavan here. So then, what's the question? So how do they? What happens to the demons he fights with here? Yeah. Some of them get, Putana became Krishna's mother in Krishna Loka. Because she had come as a mother giving her breast to baby Krishna.
на Кришна да се учи.
So generally the demons, they get impersonal liberation.
Обикновено демоните получават безличностно освобождение.
Just like Agasur, he got impersonal Brahman realization.
Както, например, Агасур, той получил...
They don't usually go back to Goloka.
Те не се връщат обикновено на Голока.
But Putana is an exception.
Но Путана е изключение.
Бих искал да попитам отново в връзка с предишния си въпрос. И все пак разбрахме как трябва да действаме с резултати от нашата работа. Някаква насока връзка с това как да мислим, когато вършим самата работа.
Again, in relation to my previous question, we understood how we should dovetail the result of our work, but how, when we do the work itself, how we should dovetail our consciousness.
Be as Krishna conscious as possible at work.
Трябва да сме колкото може по-кришно съзнати на работа.
Like if you're working at a corporate job, you can bring prasadam cookies to the break room once a week, you know.
Например, ако работиш в някаква фирма, можеш да носиш корабик и пресадам веднъж в седмица.
Later on, I was working as doing telesales. I was selling long distance service over the telephone.
Аз работих като реализирах продажби по телефона на дълго разстояние.
So to get hired, I covered my neck beads over no tilak, grew my hair out, to get fired,
И за да ме наемат, аз си пуснах коса и
I hid my identity as a devotee to get hired.
скрих си своята идентичност.
But I got kind of tired of doing that.
Обаче в един момент ми писна да го правя.
So one day I wore tilak to work.
Един ден си сложих хубав тилак на работното място.
And I was so fired up. I was one sale after another sale after another sale after another sale. I was selling like crazy that day.
Толкова ми потръгна този ден, реализирах продажби една след друга.
My manager gets a commission off of my sales. Okay?
И тогава моят менеджер получи комисионно от всички.
So he was really fired up. He go, "Wow, Mr. Bridge is really going to town today. Wow, look at that."
Той беше много вдъхновен от моите постижения този ден.
At the end of the day, he came and said, "Mr. Bridge, I do not know what that is on your forehead.
Господин Бридж, не знам какво е това на челото ви.
From now on, you must wear it every day."
Сега нататък трябва всеки ден да го носиш.
So, make a revolution in your office,
Направи революция на своето
I know one devotee, on his desk, he just put Bhagavad Gita. He just had it sitting there on his desk every day.
Знам един преодан, който си държи Бхагавад Гита на бюрото всеки ден.
One of the co-workers named Randy Meyer, he came up and said, "What is that book?"
Един от неговите колеги дошъл и попитал каква
He was curious, you see.
Той бил любопитен.
So my godbrother either gave him or lent him the book, and he went home and read it, and he became a devotee, initiated disciple of Prabhupada.
Моят духовен брат му дал книгата, той се прибрал къща, прочел и стана
Simply because
даден ученик.
my godbrother had put a Bhagavad Gita on his desk openly.
Просто защото моят духовен брат си сложил Бхагавад Гита на
So our mission is to completely revolutionize this whole planet.
нашата мисия е напълно да революционизираме тази планета.
So even at your job, you should try to make a revolution, whatever you can do,
Затова дори на своето работно място трябва да се опиташ да направиш.
We are preachers after all. We're not workers. We're a preacher class.
В крайна сметка ние сме проповедници, ние не сме работници.
Because of the Kali Yuga, we may have to work job, but actually we are preachers. We're not workers.
Заради Кали Юга ние трябва да работим.
So even though you may act as a worker, you must always be the preacher, and then you'll always be in good conscience.
Затова дори да трябва да работиш, трябва винаги си проповедник и за да си добро съзнание.
And I'm convinced we can take over the whole world.
И аз съм убеден, че може да превземем целия свет.
Prabhupada gave us the order. He said, become guru to deliver the whole world.
Прабхупад ни е дал това наставление да станем гуру и да освободим.
I'm convinced we can pull off a global spiritual revolution.
И аз съм убеден, че може да направим глобална духовна революция.
I've just come out with I used to be a singer-songwriter before I became a devotee.
Преди да стана преодан, аз пишех песни.
I just come out with a CD called Our Sweet Lord.
И аз сега издавам едно CD, което се...
And the first cut on the CD is called Global Respiritualization.
И първият кавър на...
We got to revolution, we got to revolution, we got to revolutionize this planet right now. Boom, 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 boom. It's a heavy rock song. heavy-duty raksa. So after the lecture, anybody who wants it, I have a bunch of them with me for a donation. Anyway, we're trying to make a revolution on this planet, and whatever you're doing, always be in that mood of making a revolution. And if we all have that mood, you see, actually it's described by Prabhupada, Bahir Nasinga Hridaya Nasinga. May Krishna become fully manifest within, and may I be able to spread his glories throughout the entire world. That's the meaning of Bahir Nasinga Hridaya Nasinga. So the more you purify your own heart, you become more and more empowered to give Krishna to this world around you. You see. And that applies wherever you are. At the temple, at work, 24 hours a day, wherever you are, the more you purify your heart, you become empowered to give Krishna to others. Take every opportunity to spread Krishna consciousness. Take books with you wherever you go, you see. Take every opportunity to give Krishna to everyone around you that you come in contact. Whenever you have a chance, give Krishna, give Krishna, give Krishna. You see. That's how, the more you give Krishna, the more you get Krishna. So your job also. Try to give Krishna as much as you can. So I think our time is a little bit, what's the normal? We're going way over time, isn't it? So we don't want to hold up the program any longer. So we thank you all very much. It's very delightful to be back after so many years. Please work together cooperatively under your leaders here and take over the country. Yeah. We want to see that Bulgaria becomes the first Krishna conscious country in the world. You see. The competition. Jai. So thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai.